Welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here doing the weekly reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Thanks so much for coming back. I was off last week, but I appreciate you sticking around and I'm excited to get to your reading. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this is for October 24th through to the 31st. I'm going to emphasize hidden strengths this week. So as you probably know, over the past couple of weeks, we were looking at issues regarding healing. But after some contemplation, I was looking for something a little bit different. So we're going to focus on hidden strengths, basically just meaning things that you didn't think are available to you, or means or ways to go about something that you didn't think would work out that will be verified here for you. So let's look at hidden strengths for your sign. Whatever is most prominent in your life this week, I encourage you to take these messages and apply them to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. This is a general reading for your sign, and we would like to know, what are the hidden strengths of Capricorn this week? Wow, just getting an idea of what's going on with all of the cards together. I'm going to treat this as a qualifier to the probable outcome, just as they jumped out together. We're looking at definitive action being taken this week, hopefully with regard to your highest good, highest intention, ascended master intention. We're looking at, Buddha or Christ consciousness here. Very, very elevated for you, very deep, and you're probably looking at long-term issues here that have to do with the assessment of reality as opposed to your opinion or people's opinions of reality. Some people say, there's, for example, they go, well, there's my truth and there's your truth and then there's the truth. That's sort of the framework by which we're going to spend the week here. And hidden strengths just being, if you've been holding back on this, I would say now is the week to take action. It would behoove you to do this. Stop holding it in. But certainly if you weren't aware that you had this type of energy or that you have this propensity to reach self-actualization, spiritually speaking, this week, it looks like the week to do it. I would stop holding yourself back and stop denying that this is a part of your life. I feel like I'm being really hard on you right now. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to get through to you because I think that you've been undermining this for whatever reason. And that's okay. We undermine our strengths all the time. It's comfortable, or, if we admit to our strengths, then we have to change. Or if we admit to our strengths, then, maybe a relationship will change. And it can be very, very complicated why we don't make a move. But this week is calling for action from you. And we see this in the general card representing you this week. This is Yang. This is the opposite to Yin. Of course, that's the card of reception, the feminine card. Yang is the masculine, the force. Okay, we even see it in the fireball here. It's the sun, right? It's the opposite of the moon, which would be Yin. Basically, this is essentially taking action. This is not sitting on your laurels or sitting on an idea or, mulling over that 20th story that you've written and you're not getting published yet. Looking at all the possibilities in life and just sort of remaining depressed over it instead of making a move. Time is up. Now you got to do something. Okay, what do you want more than wishes and dreams? You want outcomes, right? And in terms of hidden strengths, I mean, another way to frame this as well, and this is regardless of whether this is an art, business, or even romance issue. I mean, we're looking at being the full human being that you are, right? Not holding back, not denying who you really are, not denying your actual strengths, even if they're weird to someone else, even if they're makes someone uncomfortable. Here's the difference, and here's how you'll be able to tell. There's your truth, there's my truth, and there's the truth. As long as you're following the truth, you cannot go wrong here, and this is where action needs to be taken. Now, what are some examples of the truth? The sky is blue. That's a truism. It just is. Unless there's a cloud, unless there's rain, a blue sky is blue. Okay? Someone with color vision problems are going to look at the same sky that we all know and can quantify as blue and say, but it's green. But you know that even though they believe it, because that's what they're seeing, that there's a conflict in their vision. It's not the truth. That's what I'm talking about here. Another really obvious one, frankly, is, gravity or density, depending on your language for such things. Another really great example is a human being without breathing apparatus underwater is going to drown. That's not my opinion. That's not somebody's truth, at some university somewhere, and they just write it because they believe it. This is true. It's actual. It's real. It's because it applies to all of us. It's a truism. That's what I'm talking about. If you can get behind a truism here, stop worrying about the fallout, the outcome. What are people going to say? You really need to get right with this. You personally need to become confident and comfortable with truth. And then you can go out and announce it and pronounce it and live it and be it and ultimately be a guide, a beacon, if you will. But you have to come to terms with this first, right? There could be issues of judgment here. It usually is when it comes to truth. We've been so misled and lied to, culturally speaking, especially in the West. A lot of the things that we know to be true just aren't. So really, and their opinion or their, market, it's marketing. So recognize what you're moving toward is truth, and then take a leap. Like that's where you're safe, is in truth. Here with deep knowing, this is where I'm going to suggest that you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly the difference between someone's truth and the truth. You also know what it feels like. Deep knowing is a very feeling card, okay? It's also an exceptionally powerful card. Here we have 2 moons and, of course, the barn owl. This is wisdom. This is occult knowledge. But this is also intuition. Let's say you've never read a book. Let's say you don't know anything about the occult sciences. You've never even heard the word intuition, but you feel it. It's true. It's there. It's happening. Right? No matter what we call it, it's intuition and it's right. So this is what I'm going to suggest is what you follow this week, your intuition. Is it the same as an opinion? Absolutely not. Intuition is a deep knowing. It's an understanding. It's an appreciation for what is, as opposed to what we want things to be. Okay? It's actually reality. A deep knowing is a gnosis. Here's another term, Gnosis, is gnosis. And it's something that the church is against, frankly. They don't like people who have firsthand experience with spirits or the, ghosts or angels or even other Christian figures like Jesus or Mary or so forth. During the witch trials, for heaven's sakes, many of the individuals who were considered religious heretics were also Gnostics. Why? They were telling the truth. They were telling the truth. They were saying you don't have to go to church to praise God. You go within. The house of God is within. It's actually in the Bible. They were actually telling the truth. They were killed for it. So it takes a lot of not only deep understanding, but a great deal of self-respect to get to this level, to get to, ascended master level. You have to be able to be willing to let go of everything that got you what's comfortable. Not that you're going to be uncomfortable forever, but a main theme around comfort is people's opinions of you, okay? This is a major theme. the human race, we want to be liked till we can't be liked anymore, right? And it's a thing, and it's not bad in and of itself, but in context, it's a real problem. We want to be liked to the expense of telling the truth. We want to be liked to the expense of doing the right thing. See where I'm going? So if you can let go of this judgment, of this likability factor, it's going to get you exactly where you are right now, in this position of, I can't make a move. I don't want to make a move. I feel stuck. That's no place to be, not when you have this type of knowledge and this type of support. We have go the distance being your probable outcome, and then truth be told here as an influence to this card. They jumped out together. Just quickly with go the distance is just keep going. Look, we have the action card preceding this, okay? You don't want to slow down here. And it's very likely that this is just going to take on a life of its own anyway. That's what happens when things get real. They just take on a life of its own. Things start to move out of the way. Things become easier in this path toward this vision. People or themes or things or ideas are brought to you, or you're able to manifest in a much simpler or easier way. And then with truth be told here, clarity, vision. Look at how wide this guy's eyes are open. Of course, this is our second owl. We're looking at high wisdom, high occult, possibly magic, possibly alchemical. Magic is simply the process of creation. It's intention plus creation. It's the will, right, in action. So this is you putting something into action here. You're actually creating something, a new life, a new world for yourself, very likely. And you are protected here. You have higher power as your general energy for the whole week. And I just can't imagine a better card to produce the sensation that you are indeed protected. You are indeed heading the right way. Especially if this is a spiritual endeavor. If this has to do, for example, with a romantic relationship here, I would absolutely follow your intuition and don't look back. And it really matters not if that's staying in it or leaving it. Frankly, you want to follow your intuition, because the mind can play all sorts of tricks. This is the other thing. You want to follow the heart and you want to follow your gut. The mind can make you say and do all sorts of things, my friend, okay? This is part of it, right? This is reputation. This is where we're talking about, just briefly over here, we were looking at issues of judgment, belonging, acceptance. Well, yeah, we can do that. We can be accepted and we can belong and people can like us and they can, and we can wear that little mask that we need to wear so we can protect ourselves so people don't know who we really are. Or you can say, that's garbage. I don't have time for that. I'm ascending from this nonsense and my reputation, who cares? What's a reputation worth anyway, and what has it gotten you? This is what you're tied to here, and this could be really your albatross. The hidden strength here could be, honestly, Capricorn, could be in saying, I'm not going to let my reputation control me. I'm going to control my reputation. I'm going to set new wheels in motion with regard to how people see me, because it's the way I want them to see me, not because it's designed or I get something out of it, which is, again, not a judgment call. We all do this, but many of us have a reputation for, not that you have to be mean or anything like that, but if you have a reputation in certain circles for thinking, doing, or behaving a certain way, especially if it has to do with atheism or if it has to do with, say, pitting the Gnostic arts or pitting, people who have belief systems in a higher power, for example, which is what is really assisting you this week. That's going to be flipped around for you this week. Whether or not you follow through with this behavior, I hope you do. I think you'll see things more clearly at the very least in terms of where you ought to be heading and how easy it will be for you to head there, and that giving up a need for a specific reputation here is going to be very, very freeing and will help you in your self-actualization. And just briefly here with your final two cards, we have forgiveness and soulmate. I will always say that anything having to do with forgiveness has to do with ourselves. It has nothing to do with the other person. The other person doesn't even have to know. You don't have to continue a relationship with the other person. You don't even have to tell the other person you've forgiven them. This is all about you, but this is ascension work. If there's anything holding you back here, or if you're worried, especially around judgment or reputation, you're going to want to work on forgiveness for yourself. And then with soulmate being the other qualifier card here, this is you just being really protected, feeling really strong, having someone by your side who trusts you, who believes in you. And if you don't have a physical partner in your life, or even a friend, a soulmate doesn't have to be romantic, but if there's no one external to you in your life during this phase of your life, you now know that you have yourself to rely on. A soulmate could also be an archangel or guardian angel here as well. So you're very, very protected. Please understand that you have everything that you need this week to move forward. Your reputation is the only thing, or your need for a specific reputation is the only thing that is holding you back. Keep going in this direction, even if it's a little bit private, a little bit personal for you, even if you're sort of accumulating ideas and thoughts and habits and patterns, and you're sort of keeping it a little bit under the radar right now. Keep going, and you'll find things will get easier over time, and that you will have people to turn to who believe in you and believe in your work. So if you have a second, comment below. Let me know how this works out for you, Capricorn. And if you're not already, you can subscribe to my channel and be alerted to all of your upcoming videos. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Until we meet next time, take good care. Bye for now.